This podcast episode is brought to you by Coors Light. These days, everything is go, go, go. It's nonstop hustle all the time. Work, friends, family, expect you to be on 24/7. Well, sometimes you just need to reach for a Coors Light because it's made to chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged. It's as crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Rockies. It is literally made to chill. Coors Light is the one I choose when I need to unwind. So when you want to hit reset, reach for the beer that's made to chill. Get Coors Light in the new look delivered straight to your door with Drizzly or Instacart. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Surprise, like being with the Western Conference teams and understanding how difficult it is to win every game in this league, and especially in the West, and what the level of game that and that you have to play and perform to win in a row, especially in the road. So we knew that. It's not a surprise, but we can't talk basketball. We have to play basketball. We have to come ready, prepared, and execute. We have to play hard. We have to execute a game plan. We have to come with a sense of urgency, which wasn't the case tonight.
James Naismith once said, "They see me Euro spitting on these haters like a rondo." Sam Cooper, how are you doing?
These get worse every time.
You expected them to get better?
I'm not going to stop you, Mike. I'm doing pretty well. Last night sucked. Last night really sucked.
Yeah, it
but
did.
There's still some interesting stuff to talk about, so
It did.
Looking forward to it.
Speaking of interesting stuff, we have the king of Suns Twitter himself, a Devin Booker stan, an ambassador for Suns fans all over the world, Kris Hanson. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. It's good to be here. Thank you for having me on the podcast.
Of course, we're really excited to have you. I've been following you on Twitter with my my official account that everyone knows about. I've been following you for a while, but I did have another account previously that I deleted because Nate Duncan blocked me, and I figured if I started a podcast, I probably shouldn't have one blocked by Nate Duncan.
Oh.
So I started a new account. Speaking of blocked, let's talk about something that we should probably get out of the way right away. Kris,
yeah.
Let's start. Let me just give a little bit of background here. We booked Kris on the podcast before anything happened on Kris's Twitter account, but Kris is a really great Suns fan. Every Suns fan on Twitter should follow Kris if they don't already. He adds to the game. He has a lot of hilarious takes, and he says a lot of really fun things about the players. He's very clearly a Suns fan, too. I think that's important to say. And I believe it was yesterday, the actual official Suns Twitter account blocked you. Is that right?
That is right. I was, we had interacted actually on Thursday, and I tweeted something funny about, I was at Subway getting lunch at work, and Fight Song by Rachel Patton was playing on the radio at Subway. And so I just tweeted, would anybody watch a mixtape of Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton highlights from Wednesday night, against the Mavericks, to Fight Song? If I made that, would anybody watch it? And then the Suns responded, yes. And it was like, oh, that's very fun. The Suns, they're really great on social media. And I made the video. It was funny. They responded to it. They liked it. And then on Friday, they started unfollowing a lot of people. And then they deleted all the replies to my interaction with them. They deleted their responses to me. And I thought that was kind of weird. But I assumed that they were just purging who they followed, which made sense. And then the next day I had cleaned all day. I had a very productive Sunday. Looking forward to the Denver Nuggets game for some reason. I was taking a shit, and then I looked at my phone. I'm just being very honest. That's exactly what happened. And then I looked at my phone, and I was ready to see if Jamal Crawford or whoever, is DeAndre Ayton upgraded from probable. And then I click, and then it says you are blocked from following the Phoenix Suns. And I'm like, what? And my first reaction, I just screenshotted it and then just tweeted, wait, what? That was my only tweet. I'm very dumbfounded. I'm still, at first it was funny, and then now I'm kind of mad, to be honest. But, yeah, very weird.
It is really weird. Now, I understand. So I also saw from other Suns fans on Twitter that they unfollowed some other accounts that were just fans. Now that part actually makes sense. I understand that. You don't want to link yourself to fans if you don't know what they represent or what they're all about. What if they tweet something racist or something weird?
Absolutely.
Like, you don't want to be connected to them in any way. So I understand that part. But to go out of their way to actually block someone that is a really, like, I called you an ambassador for Suns fans, and I genuinely believe that. I see when people, national media or blog boys, as I call them, are out on Twitter insulting the Suns or maybe misrepresenting them in some way. I see you almost before anyone else representing all of us in those discussions. So to go out of the way to do that, it's really odd, and it must feel, if you had to say something to the Suns right now about that, what would you say?
I think what's most frustrating about it is throughout every dumb thing that like Ryan McDonough has done, I've defended Ryan McDonough. And then when Robert Sarver fired Ryan McDonough, to some extent, more than most Suns fans, I defended Robert Sarver. Like, I have always tried to defend them, which is like, it's just my like naive like fandom. It's very stupid, but like, that's what I've always tried to do. I've defended generally every move that they've made. And I went to Vegas to watch them in Summer League. I live in San Diego and I go to games like in Arizona. I drive back to Arizona, where I grew up to go to games. I like make that a point. I buy jerseys, I buy apparel, and yeah, to get like blocked for no reason. I really don't know why. And it's really fucking annoying. And I don't know if I'm allowed to use swear words, but
Yes, you are.
Yeah, it's they have not won more than 25 games in 3 years, and it very well might end up being 4 years. But yeah, for a team that's been so terrible, I've defended them quite a bit. So that's what I would say to them.
I'm glad you brought that up, Kris, because honestly, I was going to say, for a team that's been as bad as the Suns have been for the past 5 years, it's, it takes a lot of audacity to kind of treat your best fans this way, I guess is what I would say. And when Mike says that you're an ambassador, I mean, seriously, for the past several years on social media, for the past many years on social media, you've just been out there defending the team through every move. So yeah, I was surprised about this, to say the least. It is kind of funny, though. I saw you tweet at the Northern Arizona Suns today, asking if you guys were still cool, and they responded, and maybe explain what's going on there. So apparently you're still cool with the G League team, at least, right?
Yeah, I hope I don't get whoever runs the social media for the Northern Arizona Suns in trouble, because I kind of feel like that maybe they have no clue what's going on. But yeah, I've tweeted the Los Suns, Northern Arizona Suns, and then I'll just keep making burner accounts, I think. And I'll occasionally just give them a little gif that like I'm still watching until they unblock me. And maybe it'll take until Robert Sarver sells the team, or something happens.
Do you think they will unblock you?
No, I thought that if they were going to, I kind of thought that they were. I always thought they were going to, and then now it's been like a day, and I'm like, after they blocked me on Facebook because I kind of left some comments. Even though I'm not active on Facebook, I've never interacted with the Suns on Facebook before, like at all. Like I don't use Facebook much. And I just like left a couple of comments, and I was like, "Hey, babe," like I was just like leaving little comments after they lost by 28 points last night. And then they blocked me within like 20 minutes.
I think before we move on, I think you deserve a chance to just say that you've interacted with people who run social media for the Suns before, and you have nothing against them, right?
No, absolutely not. I get that it's like a tough job. Running social and especially for a team that's bad. I've always thought like their video content, their Twitter, photos, like I've always thought that like that was good. I've always enjoyed in-game experiences. Their website, streaming has always been like good and fine. And, the only beef I've ever had with the team has been basketball operations. It has never been with anybody else in the organization that's on their payroll. So,
well, I have to say that just from my perspective, I think that it's really kind of sad because it's just when you have someone that represents the team and you're doing it for free. Here's the thing that I think about it is you make watching the Suns more fun. And I genuinely believe that. And I'm not just saying that because you're on the podcast. It is the reason that you're on the podcast, to be honest. And the fact that they go out of the way to block somebody like you, it makes me kind of sad. And I don't know what the motivation is. None of us do. It's all speculation at this point. I've seen some people tweeting about it. We have no idea what's going on. I don't know if anyone from the Phoenix Suns listens to this podcast. I know there's a couple people that work for the team that follow us. Maybe they're gonna delete us after this podcast. But if they're listening right now, I just want you to know, Kris is great. He only has the best for the Phoenix Suns as his intentions. That's what it is. So unblock him. Come on, guys, unblock him. And maybe we'll be blocked after this, Sam.
That'd be pretty funny.
Thank you. Unblock me so I can know basic things that I can also find out from.
Yeah, how else are you going to get advertisements for fries?
Yeah, like how will I know when it's Sun's Day at Baked Bear? You know, I need to know.
Well, like I said, at least you can get notes on George King and the Northern Arizona team. So hopefully that's enough for you.
Yeah, I still got the Northern Arizona Suns.
Maybe I should just start retweeting in quotes all of the Suns posts, but just writing them out again so that you could see them.
Yeah, that's what I need. I need people that I need like an account that just like retweets everything that they say, so
just
I
fully
can
rewrites it.
Yeah,
there it is. There. Whoever wants to do that for Kris, feel free. I'll start doing it later on tonight.
A programmer who listens to this podcast, write a bot that can do that. I feel like it can't be that bad, right?
Yeah,
it would be very helpful.
It'd be very easy. It should be at Kris Hanson Suns.
Yes, that would be very helpful.
Now, I want to talk about something before we move on to recapping the Denver game a little bit. Did you guys see I know you did. I don't know why I have to ask this, but just to introduce it. Chris Paul and Rajon Rondo, two guys who are about 65 years old combined, got into a fist fight in an amazing, amazing scene last night. I know you guys saw it. Well, let's start with you, Kris. What did you think of that fight?
So I didn't see it live. I saw it about 10, 15 minutes later because I was still getting over the Nuggets game. But then I ended up rushing back to the TV and I saw it. And yeah, so at first it did not look like Rajon Rondo spit.
Right. Spitgate.
Yeah, Spitgate. And I thought it was possible that there was some residual spit because he talked like really loud.
And he just looks like a guy that spits when he talks.
Yeah, he spits when he talks. And it could have been Melo. And then, of course, this morning, like the great side angle video where you actually see the Rondo spit. And I'm extremely surprised that he only got suspended for, I believe, 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I'm surprised. And one more game than Chris Paul. Seems so odd to me. Chris Paul gets 2 games, Rondo gets 3 for that. But I don't know.
Yeah, and Brandon Ingram got 5 for his Dawson punch.
He got 4, but I actually think the funniest take on this was Mike D'Antoni when he was asked later about it. He was saying that at least they didn't suspend Boris Diaw again. So gave a little reference out there for Suns fans.
Every Suns fan's heart breaks all at once. Yeah, it was really fantastic. Mike Breen calling that game was absolutely amazing. He owned it. I watched it live, the punches. He was really screaming. Mike Breen needs to call fights. It was more fun to watch than a lot of the fights I've seen that were actual fights. Who won that fight? What do you guys think?
I don't know. They both actually landed punches, which is like way above the usual bar.
I think Chris Paul won.
Yeah, I think Chris Paul won.
That last lefty punch when LeBron was pulling him away, yeah,
that's fair because he didn't start. He didn't start the fight, and I think his defense, like after the fight had started, that was pretty good.
Chris Paul, good at defense. Do you think that Chris Paul should have been suspended at all? I mean, if I got first of all, spitting at someone in their face is an okay reason to punch them in the face. I think that's a fair thing to do. That's not okay anywhere. You can't spit in someone's face. That's insane. I was actually, he should have been suspended. Yes, he threw punches on an NBA court. But That seems like an okay reason to me. I don't know what you guys
I don't know. I
think.
mean, the NBA operates like a high school. They've got like a sort of zero tolerance policy as soon as you throw a punch, even if it was self-defense. It's obviously bullshit, but I mean, we're ignoring Ingram's role in this a little bit too. I mean, he instigated the entire thing before that fight between the two of them even started. So yeah, I mean, I definitely would have suspended CP3 for one game. I think that's enough. Or give Rondo and Ingram more. Certainly wouldn't mind to see the Lakers lose some more games in the next week or two.
Mhm.
But
It doesn't seem to matter if they're playing or not. They might lose anyway.
That's true. And we're going to talk about that because they have a game coming up against the Suns this week.
Yeah, let's talk about basketball. How about that?
Yeah.
The Suns lost to Denver by 28 points. Jokic had a perfect game. He had 35 points, a crazy number of assists, a crazy number of rebounds, and could not be stopped. The Suns clearly need a point guard. Booker sort of was running point early with a little turnover prone. Mikal Bridges played well. Kris, what did you think of that game?
So I had a friend come over. I generally watch games alone. I had a friend come over and watch the game with me, and he was trying to get on the bandwagon of the Phoenix Suns, and I was really like, yeah, because he saw the final 6 minutes of the Mavericks game, and I was like, hey man, this is not like that was not normal. And I'll be honest, I thought that like the fact that they got down by 17, I think, and then they cut the lead down to 2. I saw where this like Booker Ayton dynamic works. I know Ayton was like a +3 or something, where the Suns were like winning, when he was on the court. But at the same time, it was like same old, where it's like you can't hit shots. The defense is atrocious. I love Devin Booker, but like, come on, get better at defense.
Yeah.
It was rough. It was kind of the same old.
How about Tyson Chandler's defense? It looked pretty bad. I mean, I guess I should be used to that after last season, but I thought this was a year where Tyson Chandler was going to start trying again. They had an agreement. He said they had an agreement. Sam, what did you think of that game?
Tyson just can't move anymore. We've seen it for the past 3 years.
There's a subreddit and there's a Twitter account that are called not aesthetic things. So things that are not aesthetic. I was thinking they should just put Tyson Chandler highlights.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, look, Tyson is still very good at... is he very good at anything? He's still pretty good at rebounding. He got 8 in the box score right now.
Okay,
he got 8 rebounds in 17 minutes. What I thought of the game is this. I want to give credit to Denver for their perimeter defense. First of all, Kris, you were saying we missed a lot of shots. We definitely did. But there was a huge difference when you looked at the way that the Suns switched on screens, went after closeouts on their perimeter defense versus the way the Nuggets did it. We were throwing out a lot of lineups that in theory have a good amount of shooters between Kanan, Booker, one of Ariza or Bridges, and Anderson all at the court on the same time. And I thought the dribble drive penetration was pretty good. They were swinging the ball from side to side. They were getting, in theory, open shots, but just Denver was so good at closing out and really gave just way more of a shit defensively than the Suns did last night. Our transition defense was terrible. Our perimeter defense wasn't good. Obviously, we couldn't stop Nikola Jokic. So, look, I don't know if it was the altitude. That always plays a factor when you go into the Denver arena, but the effort just wasn't there for Phoenix last night.
Yeah, absolutely. It was difficult. It was the first time that DeAndre Ayton and Mikal Bridges were playing in Denver. It doesn't seem to affect Mikal Bridges, obviously. Now, of course, we had Devin Booker still coming back from his hand surgery. DeAndre Ayton sprained his ankle in practice, so there was a lot going against the team. If you were a betting man, that would have probably been a good game to bet on as far as the Nuggets covering, because there just wasn't a good chance of them winning even before the game even started. So no surprise they lost. The Nuggets were favored by 10. It's the hardest place to play in the NBA as far as away games, so no surprise there. But Mikal Bridges, he looked pretty great. I mean, what was crazy is Trevor Ariza had a negative 49, I think. He was at the team was
47.
That's crazy. And you know what I will say too? Watching the game, he didn't play very badly. No. I wouldn't say that anything about his play stood out as
minus
bad.
Is a weird stat. Ariza played bad. He had such a good first game, though, that I'm not prepared to crucify him over this performance. He was bad, but I don't think he was actually minus 47 points bad. Kris, I don't know what you think about that.
No, I think that was like plus minus anomaly to the extreme.
Right.
Yeah, I've never actually seen plus minus be like that insane. I think he just got really unlucky on the court.
And plus minus is a weird thing where, of course, Mikal Bridges plays against the bench players the entire time, and Ariza played against the starters, and the starters killed us. The starters scored 109 points, I think, for the Denver team. So that's where you get killed. You get killed like that. So it's better than some random bench player going off on us, I guess, like it was last year the entire year. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, let's preview the games coming up next week. We got some big ones coming up, so we'll be right back. Recently, we made something on our Twitter called the Timeline Skills Breakdown. What it is a video of what it takes for DeAndre Ayton to become a great passer. This could be a new series for us, and we'd like you to watch. Let us know what you think. Hopefully we can make some more for you in the future. If you have any suggestions for what skills you see on some Suns players and what they have, let us know. Maybe we can make a cool video for it. Once again, check us out at the Timeline Pod on Twitter. You can see the most recent videos. If you can't find it, send us a message, send us a tweet, find us on Reddit. We'll point you in the right direction. Thanks for listening. The Suns have some really important games coming up this week. We have the Warriors on Monday,
L.
the Lakers on Wednesday,
Maybe an L.
and the Grizzlies on Saturday, coming up on the weekend.
Hopefully not an L on that one.
No, it's a rough week no matter what. You know, it's funny, me and Kris interacted on Twitter right before the season started because both of us simultaneously bought 2K19 and we were playing as the Suns on 2K19, and we realized how rough the beginning of the schedule is. Now, even when we did our schedule recap with Max from 7 Seconds or Less, we looked at the schedule, we realized how rough the first couple weeks are going to be, but there's really nothing like playing on 2K19 and just sort of realizing, oh my God, there's so many stars coming at us. So let's go one by one. We're going to do this every week. Let's go one by one and cover each game, and we'll talk about sort of what we think about these games. So the first game, Monday, the 22nd, against the Warriors. So a couple facts on this game's this series against this team that I'm going to throw at you guys and get your reactions here. First of all, the Suns have lost 15 in a row against the Warriors. Did you guys know that?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it hasn't felt like we've won.
I remember the last one.
Oh, wait. Okay. Before you say anything about that, the last time the Suns won was November 9th, 2014.
Fuck yeah, I remember that game.
I was gonna guess. I was gonna guess the last win was when Amari Stoudemire dunked on Anthony Tolliver. I was like 10 years ago. I was in middle school.
Yes. So, who was? Let's see if it sounds like Kris is going to know this. Whichever one of you gets it first. Who was the highest scorer for the Suns in the last game that the Suns beat the Warriors?
Oh, the highest scorer. Mm-hmm. Was it? I don't think it was Goran.
It was not.
No shit.
Can I buzz in?
Yeah, Sam, you got a guess?
Well, let's go with something crazy. Isaiah Thomas, 28 points.
It was Isaiah Thomas. Wow.
I remember that play.
22 points, 7 assists.
Okay, not bad.
Play without. Play didn't play.
And does it even count? It was 2014.
But the Warriors were doing good.
Yeah, that was a great season for them. I think that was Steph's first MVP
year. That was their first title year. And they were like doing so well, and then the Suns killed them.
Yeah, that was a fun game, and that was that legendary 3-guard lineup team that actually was pretty good. They played pretty good that season. Not a lot of defense, but a lot of offense. So a couple other stats. Devin Booker has never beaten the Warriors. So every game Devin Booker has played against the Warriors, we've lost. He's actually never scored more than 21. So even in the years he averaged 25 and he averaged more than 21, he never scored more than 21. He's had 2 double-doubles, including his rookie year. I know you guys know the rookie year one, 18 points, 11 assists, 0 turnovers. That was one of those games where you're like, wow, is Devin Booker more than a scorer? So 2 double-doubles. A couple new additions for the Warriors. Jonas Jerebko, depending on who you are. DeMarcus Cousins who's not playing, and Klay Thompson grew a beard. I feel like that's a good addition to the team as well. Now, it's going to be a really interesting game. So here's one of those games where DeAndre Ayton could matter a lot. Now, maybe he's still going to have a rough ankle, big swollen ankle, but they don't have a lot to stop Ayton. We saw it in preseason. They don't have a lot to stop him. This is the type of game where we really need him to shine. How do you feel, Kris? First, let's start with you. How do you feel about this game, just thinking about the game coming up?
Well, I think that my fear is that Stephen Curry this season has turned into 2014-15 Steph Curry. I'm a little worried, but I think that like the Suns can, if they can get a good game from Booker, which I still don't know if his hand is 100%.
Right.
I kind of think game one was maybe a fluke, was like kind of the best case scenario for Devin Booker. Like that wasn't normal. So yeah, it's, I guess my positive thing would be is, don't lose by 20, lose by 15, but good luck. Like it's so hard to come up with like a reasonable thing to say when you play the Golden State Warriors. I'm just like, God bless.
Sam, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I mean, none of us thinks we're going to win, right? Like, Mike, you don't think we're going to win?
I wouldn't bet on it.
Yeah, it's.
I don't think it's completely insane, but no. Just another fact too, and then I'll let you keep going, Sam. Kevin Durant is currently averaging 32 points, and Steph Curry is averaging 31. Now, obviously, it's only been 2 games, but that's crazy.
Yeah, they're insane. They're certainly the best team I've ever seen play in my lifetime. And I don't know. I mean, look, Denver just beat them tonight, by the way. I don't know if either of you guys saw that game. So they are 2-1 technically. And I do think they're a little bit of a weirdly constructed roster in that their offense is really being fueled by Curry and Durant even more so than it usually is through these first few games. I actually added it up. 75% of their shot attempts tonight came from players named Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, or Klay Thompson. The bench is full of these like good defensive role players who are kind of afraid of shooting. Guys like Kevon Looney, Andre Iguodala has never been much of a scorer, certainly isn't much of a scorer anymore. You've got guys like Damian Jones and Draymond Green, obviously aren't much of scorers. So their team is really fueled by Steph and Durant. I guess that means theoretically you could say if one of those guys had a bad game, you could somehow win, but that logic just doesn't really add up to me. I just, at Oracle, I don't see how the Suns come away with a win here.
So I want to make the case of what it would take for the Suns to win. Now, we are the Endlessly Optimistic podcast after all. First off, the 2 games that the Warriors have won, they're 2-0 so far, have been incredibly close games. The first game was against Utah, very, very good team, where Jonas Jerebko hit a game-winning tip-in off of a Kevin Durant mid-range shot that just sort of bounced off the rim. He tipped it in as the buzzer expired. I think there was like 0.3 left in the clock, and of course the Jazz heaved a full-court shot that didn't come close.
Donovan Mitchell did.
Yeah, that's right. Donovan Mitchell did.
Let's be clear.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, it was a corner 3, like a turnaround corner 3. And he missed it. So the next game was against the Nuggets, and they had a few days rest, and they played the Nuggets, and they lost in a very, very, very close game once again. The Nuggets ended up pulling it out at the end after playing the foul game for a few possessions. So first off, the Warriors are playing very well. So I'm not saying they're not, but even as they're playing very well, it's taken Kevin Durant averaging 32 points and Steph Curry averaging 31 points and just to get where they were to 2-0 before, plus now they lost this Denver Nuggets game. So it's been very, very close games so far. Now, what would it take, in my mind, I'm trying to think, what would be the scenario where the Suns could actually win against the Warriors? So a couple things. First off, Trevor Ariza very much hates the Warriors after his battle with them last year in the Rockets. So hopefully we don't see a Trevor Ariza game like the one against the Nuggets. Now, like I said, it's not exactly... It was an on Trevor Ariza that he was a negative 47 in that game. There was a lot of factors that went into that. But we can expect something, I would expect something more like the first game against Dallas, where we get a really engaged, really locked in Trevor Ariza. He's going to be guarding Kevin Durant. Of course, he'd have to hold him below his averages of 32 points in order for us to do well. I doubt that's going to happen, but that would be nice. And the other thing would be that Ayton has a monster game, and of course, Devin Booker would have to have a monster game. Is there any other scenario to you guys that you can think of where the Suns could actually win this game?
Yeah. Sorry.
You know what the problem is? The Warriors just won last night, or they lost last night or tonight. Yeah. And I feel like that the Suns have played the Warriors a lot when the Warriors have like blown a game or like lost, right. And then like the Suns are like the revenge game.
Yeah, I just don't know what I'm supposed to tell you. Like Jamal Crawford is going to unlock some hidden defensive potential and lock down Steph Curry to lead us to victory. It just seems like not that likely of a storyline. Same with Isaiah Kanan stopping him. So.
I'll go for one. TJ Warren scores 26 points or something.
All threes.
Yeah, it could, and TJ Warren has had a few great games against the Warriors, so it definitely could happen that he goes off. I think one of his highest scoring games.
So is Josh Jackson.
Yeah, Josh Jackson's played well as well. So obviously everyone kind of gets up to play the Warriors, and they still lose. That's the thing. So who knows?
Yeah, maybe apathy is like the best hope for the Suns, that the Warriors are just apathetic, don't care, and screw this team, and then they come out and kind of blow it.
So what you're saying is maybe they let the players coach again, and the players don't coach very well.
God, I forgot about
that.
Yeah,
and Igor is better.
Yeah. The Warriors, I looked up the betting lines, and if I'm reading this right, the Warriors are favored by 13 points. So
really, that's not much.
No, it's actually less than I would have expected, and it's a back-to-back for the Warriors. So who knows? That's that. 13 points in a back-to-back is still pretty crazy, actually.
But it feels better. It feels better than you'd think.
Yeah. So we'll see. I guess a win is if Steve Kerr actually has to coach the whole time.
Yeah.
That's a win. So the next game is the Phoenix Suns versus the Los Angeles Lakers. And this is a home game. So it should be said, too, that Warriors game is an away game. We're playing in at Golden State. So that's a rough place to play as well. This is a home game. Now, here's the thing. In the years past, a home game against the Lakers hasn't felt much like a home game. Now they have LeBron. Can we even count this as a home game? It seems like it's going to be pretty rough. A couple more stats for this game. First of all, the Suns are 5-5 in the last 10 games against the Lakers. You guys probably remember a lot of them. There was a Brandon Knight triple-double somewhere in there. There's a couple great games. There was that famous Julius Randle kick out to the 3 game when he was isolating Tyson Chandler. Congratulations, you beat Tyson Chandler on an isolation. We were 1-3 against the Lakers last season. The Lakers have not won yet. As of when I made this outline, the Lakers were 0-2. So we'll see where they are when they play against us. This is on Wednesday. Do you guys have any idea what we are in our... I think, Sam, I showed you the outline, or maybe I showed both of you, but do you guys know what we are in the last 10 games against LeBron? Not just necessarily against the Lakers.
I know. Do you want me to go for it, or that's not fun?
No, it's okay. I'll say it. It's 1-9. I don't think I have to force you guys to say that. We're 1-9. No, we've won once against LeBron. I think you guys know this, but who was the high scorer when the Suns beat LeBron? He was on the Cavs at the time. Who was the high scorer in that team? Who knows? Either one of you?
Kevin Love. Kyrie Irving. Kevin Love is still on the Cavs. I don't know why I answered Kevin Love. Was it Kyrie Irving?
No. This is it. This was January 13th, 2015, when the Suns beat the Cavs. So who was the high scorer on the
exactly
Suns,
who it
I
is.
should say?
I know exactly who it is.
Who was it?
I hate him, but he was a clutch motherfucker. It was Markieff Morris, right?
It was Markieff Morris. In a game I was at, that was Markieff Morris who scored 35 points in a very good game. It was a very close game. It was actually the first time. So LeBron was out for 10 games right before that. He came back. First game back from injury was in Phoenix, and the Suns won that game. And that was the last time the Suns beat LeBron. It was pretty bad before that and pretty bad after that. I also have LeBron's averages against the Suns in the last 10 games. Do you guys want to try and guess those averages at all?
Kris, let's start with you. I really have no idea.
31, 31, 7 and 9.
That sounds about right. I'll cosign 35, 15, and 20.
Cosine? So if I had to guess, I think I would have guessed something insane like that, Sam, as well. It's actually 26.7 assists, 6 rebounds. So it's closer to his career averages. And as you guys could probably guess, the total amount of minutes he played, less than his career average.
Oh, yeah.
So that's kind of why. He didn't have to play.
I knew it was low. He's never had a giant game against the Suns.
No, he never really
Yeah,
has.
actually, I guess that's a good point.
Yeah, I don't know what his high-scoring game. I should have looked that up. That would have been actually kind of interesting to see what his high-scoring game against the Suns is. And who knows? So this game, I guess you can assume Trevor Ariza is going to be guarding him. So a couple other things on this. We're going to assume that, Rondo and Ingram are out. So we know that for sure. So they're going to be out. So some new additions on the team. Of course, LeBron, Rajon Rondo, he's not playing. Lance Stevenson, JaVale McGee, Michael Beasley, Mo Wagner, Svi, Isaac Bonga. Those guys might actually get minutes in this game since there's a few players out. You can guess Josh Hart's going to play a lot of minutes. This is a really interesting game. They haven't looked very good so far. Kris, what do you think the chances are that the Suns win this game?
I think that there's like a decent chance if Igor is a good coach and if this is like the actual 30 to 35 win team that we like kind of hope they are, they should have a decent chance. I don't know how good the Lakers are going to be, but in LA, Devin Booker plays pretty well in LA. Or no, it's a home game, right?
It's a home game, yeah. It's like being in LA.
No, Booker plays well again. No, so it's like an away game. Yeah, it's like an away game.
Over under 5,000 LeBron jerseys in the arena on Wednesday.
Oh, man. No, I'll go over.
You're probably right.
I think but Booker plays well though against LA. I don't think that they can win.
Yeah,
sure.
I think this one's a lot more likely than the Warriors game. Sam, what do you think?
I think the chances are good here. We're going to see more Kuzma probably. We're obviously going to see more Lonzo. Maybe we'll even see Michael Beasley for the first time. He hasn't really played yet. The Lakers are a poorly constructed roster. They're shooting 24% from the three-point range as a team so far, which is dead last in the league. What a surprise that that's the case, given the collective group of burgers that they signed this offseason. But, I'm still not sold on Lonzo as an off-ball compliment to LeBron, but I do think, maybe potentially it could happen. He is shooting pretty well on the season so far. Again, it's 2 games, so I don't want to make, too big a thing out of any type of sample size like that. I definitely think the Suns have a good chance. And for the record, we did ask you guys what you thought as well on Twitter with a poll. 43% of you think that the Suns are going to win this game by less than 10 points. 12% of you think the Suns are going to win by more than 10 points. And if you think about it, our Twitter followers is really the biased sample of just Suns fans. So for only 55% of Suns fans to think that the Suns are going to win this game and 45% thinking that the Lakers will win is kind of indicative of this fan base, I think, being still pretty pessimistic about our chances. But I do think that there's a good shot.
It's interesting to think about the team without Rondo and Ingram. They're not very good. We did a Pacific Division sort of forecast, and I don't have high hopes for this team. And especially if you take out Rondo and Ingram. Ingram's been pretty good against the Suns so far. He's looked good in basically every game he's played against us. So it's nice that he's not playing. He's long. He can play pretty well on offense. He's good at cutting off the ball, which, if Devin Booker ends up on him, does an easy cut to the basket. So it's really interesting. Sam, let's start with you. What do you think is the most important matchup for this game on both sides? So obviously, here's what I think, first of all. For the Lakers to win maybe 40 or 45 games or maybe close to 50 games like some people think they are, it sure seems like LeBron's going to have to score 35 points a game for it to happen, and they're going to have to really run up and down the court, and he's getting a little older. So take LeBron out of it. So let's take LeBron out of it. What do you think beyond that is an important matchup, let's say, for the Suns to play well?
This is just a personal answer. First of all, do you remember when Nate Duncan and Danny LaRue on their podcast ranked Kentavious Caldwell-Pope over Devin Booker as a shooting guard? This was like a year ago. So just for that reason, I want to see Devin
Nate
Booker.
Duncan.
Yeah, he's
Oh
fucking
my
idiots.
God.
For that reason alone. And by the way, I'm surprised we haven't been, side note here, again, sorry. I'm surprised we haven't been blocked by Nate on Twitter yet, Mike, because he actually responded to a tweet we put out yesterday. I don't know if you want to make anything more
can't
of
believe
that
that
right
happened.
now.
Yeah, no, let's talk about it. I made a video of some DeAndre. I've been obsessed with DeAndre Ayton's passing. I love passing from a big man. Watching Jokic last night was absolutely amazing. So I made a video of DeAndre Ayton passing, and I sort of broke down some of the good aspects of DeAndre Ayton catching the ball in the post and throwing it back out to cutters or throwing it out to shooters. And somebody tagged him in it and said the tape doesn't lie, Nate Duncan, and Nate Duncan got really defensive right away. It's really bizarre that he feels the need to defend himself off of everything. Doesn't that just show a sign of insecurity? Is that just me that reads it as insecurity, or do you guys feel that way too?
Yeah. No, he feels weird about the Suns.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about it. So I thought it was really interesting that he had to step in. He felt it was really important to make it known that, yeah, I've been a fan of his passing this whole time. And I don't know that that's true. I stopped listening to his podcast about 2 years ago, so I'm out. I don't know what he's thinking there. But so it sounds like, Sam, that you're saying KCP versus Devin Booker is the most important matchup, which makes a lot of sense, right?
Yeah, well, not even necessarily to win the game. I just want to see Devin Booker destroy KCP purely because of Nate Duncan. But yeah, I guess
that
to win
is
the game,
an insane take.
Does matter
That's
too.
insane.
Yeah, it was funny
Does he
then.
really
It's funny
think
now.
that?
Well,
Do you
this
think he really
was a year
thinks
ago.
that?
Okay, so this was the year after. To put it into context, this must have been after Booker averaged 22 points a game. It was going into last season before he had the 25.
The year that he was averaging 25 points over the last 42 games.
Yeah,
that's an important note.
On 56% true shooting percentage.
But guys, Devin Booker doesn't contribute to winning basketball. I know that because the Suns don't win games.
Because the Suns don't, yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
it's an easy calculate. Those are
The
advanced
Suns are
analytics
bad.
there.
Therefore, everyone on their team is bad.
So that's going to be a really interesting game. LeBron and Phoenix. God, I've really hated watching that team so far. Have you guys, Kris, have you watched them play? Have you watched the Lakers play with LeBron?
I've watched them a little bit. They don't look good. They don't have three-point shooters. They don't have good defenders. They don't have smart basketball players. But they have LeBron.
Well, they have Rondo's a smart player.
And then Rondo's competent. Yeah, he's a smart player. But he also is not a perfect player by any means, for as smart as he is.
Here's what I'll say. So far this season, JaVale McGee might be their second best player.
Yeah.
No, so my interesting matchup was kind of gonna be McGee and Ayton. Because McGee's long, he's big.
Mm-hmm.
So don't get be able to post up against him,
Totally. We need an Ayton revenge game.
Yeah. And you know what else, too? JaVale moves off the ball. He really does move off the ball. And that means that Ayton has to be focused the entire game. That's been a lot of the trouble with Ayton so far. Now, I will say his defense in preseason was actually really good. And so far in the season, it didn't start out great in Dallas. He played a lot of minutes, and it looked worse after that ankle sprain in Denver. So this would be a good game for him to step up because JaVale's constantly going to be moving. And when you have LeBron on the court, he's going to find him. He's definitely going to find him. Yeah. So we'll see. This could be one of those galvanizing games, for the Lakers too. After two of their guys were suspended, so it's going to be an interesting one. There's another game next week. It's Saturday the 27th. This is in Memphis against the Grizzlies. Now the Grizzlies, interesting team because it's difficult to predict what they're going to be like. First of all, the Suns are 5-5 in the last 10 games against the Grizzlies. As we're recording this, the Grizzlies are 1-1 so far this season. They added Jaren Jackson Jr., Kyle Anderson, and Chandler Parson got his knees back. He got that blood spinning procedure in Germany that's supposed to make your knees better. I haven't actually, I'll be frank, I haven't actually watched the Grizzlies so far this season. It's difficult to catch up with every team. I imagine they could be good. They still have Mike Conley. They still have Gasol. and Jaren Jackson Jr., a good defender who can shoot the lights out from three. Sam, we'll start with you. What do you think about this game, coming up in this game? This is the least interesting one in a week with the Warriors and the Lakers, of course, but what do you think about the Grizzlies?
Well, this is actually a really interesting one, in my opinion, still, because you've got the whole Jaren Jackson Jr. versus Ayton narrative. Now, here's the thing, guys. JaMychal Green is out 4 to 6 weeks with a broken jaw. That's their starting power forward. I don't know if you saw the news about that, but so they have a really weak front court depth chart without JaMychal Green. And it makes me wonder, actually, because we haven't seen a Grizzlies game since news of that injury. Will Jaren Jackson Jr. start next to Marc Gasol? Are they going to go for a type of Twin Towers approach? Because their only other option is they have all of these really small forwards like Kyle Anderson, Omri Caspi, Chandler Parsons, who aren't really power forwards. They could slide one of them in there as a small ball four and try to operate that way. But I almost think it would be more interesting to see Jackson and Gasol play together and see what that looks like for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, that would be really interesting. And Jaren Jackson Jr., he can shoot, so it's not like there's a spacing problem there. Kris, what do you think when you think about this game? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, well, that's kind of a game that if I'm assuming that Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to start, and also it's like he's not only a good 3-point shooter. Like in the draft process, we kind of thought he was going to be a really good defender and not a good offensive player. And it's turned out that like he's actually an extremely like good offensive player. Right. He's really good at drawing fouls. He's good at, of course, shooting. He's good in the paint. Mm-hmm. His defense has not been as good as his offense has been. So it's going to be a test for Ayton. I bet he plays a lot at 5. Like he'll play a lot at the 5. He's probably, the Suns got to be careful. It'll be a very interesting matchup between Ayton and Jackson for sure.
It's really interesting because the Grizzlies are really hard to predict. They were bad last season, but they had injuries, and Marc Gasol played a lot of the year, but did he really? I mean, he didn't look like he was trying for at least the second half of the season. Mike Conley's back. He could be good. He looked good in preseason, and nobody's really defending him on the Suns. Who do we have to guard? And maybe Josh Jackson for part of the game in crunch time, but he's going to go off, we can expect. Gasol, who knows? He's shooting threes now. We all know he has the passing ability. He's a good defender. That's a huge guy for Ayton to be matched up against in the starting lineup. So that's a difficult guy to move. He's not going to have a lot of free movement, like he could maybe like when he first posted up Doncic. It's going to be very, very different. I don't really know what to expect from this game. I really don't. I'm going to try and catch a Grizzlies game before that game comes.
This is a sort of game where I think DeAndre Ayton becomes really important because, like I was just saying, if Jaren Jackson Jr. and Marc Gasol is your starting front court, Ayton needs to be aggressive. They need to give Ayton the ball early on in the first quarter because we know Jaren Jackson Jr., as good of a defender as he is, has a foul problem. If you can get 2 or 3 fouls early on against either of those two guys, and then suddenly the Grizzlies have to spend the rest of the game with one of those two on the bench, and they're playing Kyle Anderson or Caspi or Parsons in a forward role instead, where those guys really can't rebound the ball all that well, you control the glass for the rest of the game. I mean, that just becomes a distinct advantage for you at that point. And, at that point, whether the shots are falling for Phoenix on offense or not, that's sort of a contingency plan. You can go in, get offensive rebounds, get second chance points. So I think this is really going to be a game. Devin Booker is going to be important as always, but it's really going to fall on whether or not DeAndre Ayton can be aggressive and can get those other bigs for Memphis in trouble early on.
I love that. I love that take because that could be one of those games where DeAndre Ayton gets 15 rebounds. That would be a really fun thing to watch. It's going to be interesting to see these 3 games. This is a difficult week. We got one of the best teams in the world. We got the Lakers, who knows? The Lakers, of course, they haven't looked good yet, but at any moment, they could click, and then that could be rough. It is a LeBron team after all, and LeBron can figure it out.
Revenge game.
Sam talked about it. Yeah, it could be a revenge game. He could be on a mission after the fight where he helped his best friend before he helped his teammates. There's also the Grizzlies. There's no way to predict that game. It's difficult to say. On any given night, the Grizzlies could look really good. They have some players that could be great. Even Chandler Parsons, we've seen his pump fake. He still got it. He could be great on any given night. So it's going to be interesting. That's for sure. Let's make some predictions. Now, there's 3 games. Sam, what do you think the record's going to be after this week for these 3 games?
Let's go 2-1. Why not? I mean,
2-1. I like it.
Yeah, I'm probably going to be wrong next week, and then I'll look like an idiot. But I'm going to be optimistic for now.
Who
Say
cares?
we beat the Lakers, we beat the Grizzlies. Why not? Let's roll into next week 3-2. Like you guys said I forget who said it. I think it was you, Mike, that we have a really tough schedule in the couple opening weeks. So it's totally possible that these Suns could be in really poor positioning a couple weeks from now. But I'd like to think that they can go 2-1.
Chris, what do you think?
0-3.
0-3?
0-3. Oh,
0-3,
Chris.
Oh, Chris.
Yeah. No, I think that the Suns will be fine. No, I think this. So I was gonna go 1-2, and then I thought, I don't think Devin Booker's hand is close to 100%, and especially like last year with his hand injury, I don't think he is like 100% until he's actually 100% with that hand. And I think that this offense is gonna take maybe a week or two to really like get its bearings. And I think that maybe the Mavericks game was more of a fluke. So
Chris,
I'll go 0-3.
How many games do they win if the Suns unblock you right now?
No, I think that they still go 0-3. Having said that, I still think that this is like a 30-win team. I think that this team catches up.
Right.
If that makes sense.
No, absolutely. This is a rough start to the season. We talked about it. It's just hard. It's going to be very, very hard.
And they were not supposed to be good right away. I didn't think they were ever supposed to be good right away.
No, we have 5 rookies.
Yeah. It's going to take time.
Yeah, it's going to take time. I'm going to say 1-3 because neither of you said it. So, or 1-2, I should say. With that win coming against the Lakers, I think that's actually a very winnable game, and I think it's going to matter to the guys that we win that, because if you play on the Suns, Suns fans don't like the Lakers. We just don't like them. So that's gonna be a big game. That's also the only home game, so I think that matters too. Devin Booker talked about, I'm sure you guys saw this, Devin Booker said there's a different energy in the arena, and I agree with that just from even watching the game on TV. I'm going to try and make that Lakers game if I can to see what it's like in the arena so far. We talked about it on the last podcast, Sam. It's been a while since we've seen Devin Booker have a really great home game. He plays really well on the road. Chris, you actually just mentioned that earlier on the podcast. He does play really well on the road, but I think this is a different year. I think the Suns fans are going to be more engaged than they've been in years, and I think Devin Booker really plays off of a good crowd. And I think even when I've been to a lot of Lakers games, even when the stadium is half full of Lakers fans, Suns fans at those games are really engaged. They just really are, because we don't like them. And I think they're going to feed off of that. That's the type of thing that helps Devin Booker to play really well. So I think that's the most winnable of the games. And that Grizzlies game, also winnable, but we do have a lot of rookies, and our rookies are really important for how well we do as far as Ayton, at least in Bridges. And it's difficult to play on the road starting out in a rookie's career. So I doubt that we're going to be very good on the road in the first half of the season, just in general. So I have a few more questions. Actually, I want to throw at you, Chris, rapid fire, and then we'll wrap up. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
All right. These are all for you.
Okay.
Here we go. Who is one person on Twitter that you blocked?
Ooh, who will I block? I honestly don't know names of people that I've blocked.
Trolls?
No, I've never blocked anybody.
Oh.
No, I think maybe
Donovan Mitchell fans?
I've blocked 2 people. I've never blocked a Jazz fan.
Okay.
Never. No, I don't know.
You're a bigger man than Nate Duncan, Chris.
Yeah. I only block people if they say something like racist, or if yeah.
Fair. What's one tweet that you tweeted that you thought would get more traction than it did?
Ooh, I cannot tell you off the top of my head, but I will say every random non-NBA tweet that I think about for more than 2 minutes, I'm like, dude, this is gonna get 100,000 retweets, and then it gets 2, and it's always from the same people that retweet all of my tweets. So yeah, no, nothing that I ever think is gonna be good is good.
Okay, what would you do if the Phoenix Suns won a championship?
I've always thought about it. I would pay at all costs to go to the game that I think that they're going to win at. I would probably get arrested. I would definitely like have like some form of like nudity, like offense against me. So I might be like a sexual predator technically. It would be bad. It would be rough. If I had children, like I would lose custody for a minute. But
Okay.
yeah, that's what it would be. It'd be a lot.
I like it. Who is your favorite Phoenix Suns player that was not a starter?
Is no starter. Ever.
All time.
Well, I'll just go. Oh man. Oh, Leandro Barbosa. Yeah, of course.
I think that's the go-to answer for people around our age.
Yeah. I mean, my first year with the Suns was 04-05. That was the first year I ever got into sports. Like I was cognitive and like I was old enough to just watch sports.
Right.
And I lived in Arizona, and it was like perfect.
That's fair.
So I'm spoiled.
Last one. What is your secret Reddit account username?
It's not secret. Kris Hanson loves you.
Oh.
I don't post. That's my email address at Gmail. I don't post much. Occasionally I do.
Oh, interesting. Well, there's going to be a certain group of people that go on to Reddit and find you and see what you've commented and posted on now.
I made a Reddit post today for the first time. Yeah, for a while. Yeah, I asked if anybody has ever been blocked by a NBA team. I want to know.
I love it. Did anyone respond?
Unbiased. Yeah, no one has been blocked.
Was it on the Reddit, NBA Reddit? Okay.
Yeah.
Stop by the.
One person said someone said they made a Steph and Aisha like joke and got blocked by the Warriors. Which is weird. It's kind of weird.
What type of joke?
Yeah. I don't know. But that's all I got.
All right, Kris Hanson, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for answering the rapid fire questions. Very honestly, I appreciate you referencing your nudity, your secret Reddit account name, and your potential law infractions if the Suns win a championship. Make sure everyone who's listening to this is already following you, but I feel like I should still promote your Twitter account. It's Kris Hanson RCF. It's Kris with a K. Kris, what does the RCF stand for?
Oh, I used to be a wedding videographer, and my company was called Red Carousel Films.
Oh, you just kept it.
And I well, that was what it was before, and then I was like building like, an audience slowly. And yeah, at this point I kept it. I quit the business because the weddings suck.
Fair.
I still make videos, but weddings fucking suck.
Everyone go follow Kris. I know you already do. Another person to follow. Sam, do you want to promote your Twitter account?
Yeah, sure, guys. I've been nagged.
It's brand new. It's brand new.
I made a Twitter account because I was nagged about it for a while. It's funny, I'm the youngest one here. I feel like I should be most on top of these sorts of things, but I will be using my Twitter account throughout the season, so feel free to follow me at @SCooperHoops. Yeah, that's about it. Kris, thank you so much for coming on again. Now as the king of, really, you are the king of Suns Twitter, maybe the banished prince of Suns Twitter now that you've been blocked. But for anyone listening out there, make sure to follow him. Make sure to tweet out justice for Kris Hanson, and hopefully we can get that trending as well.
Did we just create a hashtag?
Kris, do you want, how belligerent do you want us to get on the internet on your behalf is the question.
I appreciate all the support, so I'll take it. I want to get unblocked for it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. This has been really fun. I hope that we have you back on throughout the season. I'm sure we will. We can talk about future games. Maybe when you get unblocked, we can have you on for a little while to celebrate.
Yes, thank you.
No problem.
Harden fouled by Ingram. Do they count it? No. They say the foul occurred before the gather.
And he never put the ball back down.
And I think another technical foul's been handed out. Now Ingram Looks like he's confronting Jason Phillips.
Well, the technical foul was on Ingram for shoving James Harden after that play.
I'm not sure what happened.
Ingram, who's usually pretty mild-mannered, was hot. Now Paul punches a throw. Paul and Rondo throwing punches. Ingram comes in. He's throwing punches. Security trying to separate. So are some of the teammates. There's going to be suspensions for this one as Rondo immediately heads back to the locker room. Ingram still jawing. Carmelo Anthony still jawing. That's when it gets dangerous, when it breaks out in a couple of different places. There's the initial foul.
Hey, Tim Tompkins here from the Sun Solar Panel Podcast. So you just got done listening to the Timeline Podcast. Mike and Sam do a great job. I listen to every single episode. And if you're like me, you want even more Suns content. So since you've wrapped up this episode of the Timeline, head on over and subscribe to the Sun Solar Panel Podcast. Chances are we have a new episode that you will enjoy. The Sun Solar Panel Podcast, available on iTunes, Google Play, and basically anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, and Thomas Hearns. Legends, whose four-way rivalry defined one of the greatest eras in boxing history. Relive their decade of dominance in the new Showtime sports documentary, The Kings, a 4-part series premiering Sunday, June 6th, only on Showtime.